Protesters are demanding police reforms after the death of Patrick Lyoya. What the county prosecutor is waiting for before a charge is made.
A Muncie animal shelter helping pets find their forever home. How they are allowing the community to interact with the animals.
The U.S. is sending more aid to Ukraine. How much and what equipment?
And another age group may soon get their booster shot. What influenced the move for the authorization?
We got another round of cool air on the way for next week. All those details coming up.
Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks for being with us. I'm Madeline Kerr.
And I'm Madison Smith. For over 20 years, one Muncie animal shelter has been the home to many animals waiting on their forever homes. They have an opportunity for members to come to the community to come and play with the animals and possibly find their new best friend.
NewsLink Indiana's Angelica Gonzalez had the chance to walk through the shelter.
Animal Rescue Fund is a shelter that creates homes for those furry friends. Jenny Burkett, vet assistant, has been part of ARF for 10 years now.
The atmosphere, really. I love the cats and I love what I do here, making a difference. Like, I wake up and I know that, there's a mission to achieve with getting these cats adopted and just advocating for them.
Burkett makes a difference daily by making sure each cat is taken care of. People of Muncie can make a difference by donating or more.
Here on the ARF campus, even when we're not open, we have our administration building and there's a patio deck and there's a bright blue teal bench, and we always say you can always drop it off there. And
ARF accepts donations from pet food to old towels to even trash bags. Donations can be dropped off at ARF campus or dropped off at ARF thrift store in Yorktown.
We do. We have a lot of little unique things about us here, and that's why I love it.
In Muncie, Angelica Gonzalez, NewsLink Indiana.
If you are interested in donating or adopting a cat or dog, you can go to www.munciearf.com to learn more about adoption or how you can give back to the animal community.
And turning on to weather, the weather today was actually pretty nice despite the 30, 40 degree temperatures we had.
Yeah, it was very sunny out, very nice out. I actually got to bring my shorts out.
But there was a lot of wind as well. And hopefully the temperatures are going to be looking up. Ryan, what do you have for us?
Well, temperatures are going to be looking up for tomorrow, but we're going to be going back into another stretch of cool air, cool temperatures for next weekend. Yes, don't worry, it's no snow, so that's the good news. But we do have to worry about below average temperatures for next week. You'll see more of that on my full forecast in just a bit. But first of all, look at these temperatures for today. High temperature is 65 degrees. It occurred at about like 12:06 a.m. But so even though it felt warm last night, it didn't feel like that very much today. It felt much cooler today than it did at this time yesterday, especially with that cold front coming through the area. You see that here with my temperatures from this time yesterday. We're seeing pretty much cooler temperatures, 13 degrees cooler at this time yesterday in Fort Wayne, 11 in Muncie. So we are seeing those temperatures much cooler than we were at this time yesterday. And speaking of temperatures, we are seeing 54 degrees right now in Muncie, down to 49 in Fort Wayne, 55 degrees in Shelbyville, and same thing in Bloomington at 55 degrees. Over these next 8 hours, you're going to see those temperatures drop down to the 40s, and you're going to see more of that on my full forecast coming up.
The family of a black man who was fatally shot by a white South Bend police officer in 2019 is appealing a federal judge's dismissal of their wrongful death lawsuit. The appeal filed this week by Eric Logan's relatives argues the judge was incorrect to dismiss the suit and he disregarded evidence he should have considered regarding former police sergeant Ryan O'Neill's credibility and policing standards.
Protesters in Grand Rapids are demanding justice and police reform. That's after an officer's fatal shooting of a black man, Patrick Lyoya, this month. The county's chief medical examiner says he's awaiting tissue and toxicology results for his final autopsy report, and the county's prosecutor's office says it will review all evidence before deciding whether to charge the officer. Meanwhile, the White House says the president doesn't want to keep waiting for Congress to pass a stalled police reform bill. The attorney for the Brooklyn subway shooting suspect is calling for a fair trial for her client.
Attorney Mia Eisenhower Greinberg represented Frank James in federal court today as he faced charges connected to Tuesday's shooting. She says investigators are still gathering information on the shooting and warned people from jumping to conclusions. James
What happened in the New York City subway system on Tuesday was a tragedy. It is a blessing that it was not worse. We are all still learning about what happened on that train, and we caution against a rush to judgment.
James is accused of violating a law that prohibits terrorist and violent attacks against mass transportation. Police say he shot 10 people and led to the injuries of others when he set off 2 smoke grenades and opened fire on commuters on the subway. Officials have not released a motive for the shooting. James did not enter a plea in court and was denied bail.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill that puts heavy restrictions on abortion. The law bans abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy without exemptions for rape, incest, or human trafficking. It does allow exemptions if the pregnancy is a serious risk to the mother or if a fatal fetal abnormality is detected, if 2 physicians confirm the diagnosis in writing. Previously, Florida allowed abortions through the 2nd trimester. Abortion advocates say the change will impact the women from neighboring states who often travel to Florida for the procedure. The bill goes into effect July 1st. And New York Attorney General Letitia James has launched an investigation into whether the oil industry engaged in price gouging.
It's believed to be the first investigation in the U.S. into the industry for the ongoing bout of high pump prices. The state's price gouging statute gives authorities wide power to investigate entire supply chains, including manufacturers, retailers, distributors, and shipping firms. It's unclear if New York authorities have any evidence of potential price gouging. The probe comes just weeks after President Biden demanded a faster drop in the gas prices as oil tumbled from highs after Russia invaded Ukraine. Biden called out the tendency for gas prices to shoot up like a rocket when oil spikes, but drop like a feather when crude crashes. A crucial Russian warship sank into the Black Sea, according to the Russian state media. Ukraine says it is responsible, meanwhile, as the country braces for a major Russian attack in the eastern Donbas region. The U.S. and EU are sending more than $1 billion worth of weapons, ammo, and equipment.
The UN estimates nearly 2,000 civilians have been killed in Ukraine. Conflicting claims about one of the Russian Navy's most important warships. The Kremlin claims soldiers evacuated after a fire. Ukraine says its missile attack caused it.
Big blow to Russia. This is their flagship.
The Moskva was behind the moment in the Black Sea soon after Russia invaded Ukraine. There is more Javelin missiles, howitzers, drones, and helicopters heading to Ukraine, and the Pentagon hopes it could make a difference in the critical Donbas region.
Moving as aggressively as we can to source all those items, get our hands on that material.
The Pentagon says the very first shipment from President Joe Biden's $800 million arms package could get to Ukraine in as little as a week. New guidelines over the past few weeks have loosened rules, making it easier to share sensitive intelligence with Ukraine. And after the break, Pfizer and BioNTech planning to send emergency use authorization for a booster shot for one age group. What group could be next for their 3rd shot?
And one airline company changing its COVID-19 policy for employees. How unvaccinated employees will be affected next.
Riding the bus is an easy thing to do. Last year, we carried 60,000 riders from the Ball State area. 50,000 of those were students. Anywhere you want to go, MITS will take you there.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back. Kids aged 5 to 11 may soon be eligible for a COVID-19 booster shot. Pfizer and BioNTech plan to submit for emergency use authorization.
This comes after the companies say results from a study reveal a third vaccine dose in the age group shows, quote, high immune response. Pfizer and BioNTech says kids 5 to 11 who took part in a clinical trial testing a third dose of COVID-19 vaccine has a 36-fold increase in antibodies against Omicron, at least 6 months after their second shot. The companies say the boosters were well tolerated, with no new safety signals, and plan to request FDA authorization, quote, in the coming days.
During the Omicron surge, studies from New York and the CDC found the effectiveness of Pfizer's vaccine in this age group fell from 68% to about 12% against infection, but 2 doses protected against severe illness, leading to hospitalization.
If somebody is high risk, in particular in this age group, has some pre-existing condition and there's a lot of concern, then I think that this is going to be something that is going to be really important.
In the U.S., new COVID-19 cases are trending up in about half of states, but hospitalizations are still near the lowest on record, despite an uptick in some Northeast states.
Good news for people waiting to get their third COVID mRNA shot. According to a study published in the JAMA Network Open Journal, safe outcomes were reported for people who got a third dose. The findings were based on nearly 48,000 people who received the additional dose between December 2020 and October 2021. Researchers say the subjects didn't have an increase in severe reactions, but there was an increase in mild effects. There are some limitations to the data, including the study didn't identify symptoms that were not associated with vaccinations before. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration has approved its first COVID-19 breath test. The agency says the test spots chemical compounds associated with COVID infection and can give results in less than 3 minutes. It is made to be used in medical offices and mobile testing sites and is about the size of a piece of a carry-on luggage. The study found the breathalyzer accurately identified positive samples more than 91% of the time and negative samples nearly 100% of the time. But the FDA still advises patients to confirm positive results with a PCR test.
There's new information about who might be at risk for getting COVID-19. People diagnosed with psychiatric disorders could be more likely to get a breakthrough COVID-19 infection. A study published today shows people with psychiatric disorders had an up to 16% greater risk of getting a breakthrough infection. Researchers say their findings might warrant focusing more prevention efforts on this group, like prioritizing testing and boosters.
Unvaccinated Delta airline employees don't have to pay for their health insurance anymore. Yesterday, CEO Edward Bastian announced the company has dropped its $200 monthly surcharge for workers who do not have a COVID-19 vaccine. The CEO said he believes COVID-19 is becoming a seasonal virus, and that's why the company made the decision. Back in November, Delta initiated the health insurance surcharge on its unvaccinated staff, citing the, quote, financial risk placed on the company. It also limited the number of sick days unvaccinated workers could take if they contracted COVID-19.
The FDA has approved a new Fitbit feature that monitors heart rhythms. According to the company, an algorithm assesses volume changes in a user's blood, which determines heart rhythms. It then alerts the user if it detects atrial fibrillation, a type of irregular heartbeat. According to Fitbit, more than 33 million people are affected by AFib. Those with the disorder are also 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Episodes come and go, so it's often difficult to detect. Fitbit says the new feature will soon be available across a range of their devices. And after the break, Ryan is going to give us a full look at weather. Ryan?
Yes, we got some cool temperatures on the way and along with some windy conditions. I have all those details coming up after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid
knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Emotes say a lot, but they can't say it all. Think your guildmate is struggling? Try these dialogue options. Go beyond emotes. Check in with your guildmates at seizetheawkward.org.
Every day,
Millions of people are connecting
and even though we're overcoming obstacles,
watching each other's backs,
and banding together.
we should still make an effort
We should still make an effort
to get to know each other.
on a deeper level. Father,
Cosplayer,
mentor.
actor.
It's time we take a step forward
it's time we take a step forward.
Come together
and discover
How accepting our differences
can make us stronger.
Welcome back. It is now 9:16 and we're getting a nice look at Ball State campus, and it actually has been very nice out lately. We've gotten a few slight rain, but for the most part it's been very sunny out.
Yeah, honestly, I put my winter coats away, and if the temperatures drop again, I refuse to get them back out. So hopefully Ryan will give us better weather coming up. Hopefully it's warmer so I don't have to freeze if I need my coat again.
I agree.
Ryan, what do you have for us?
Well, you may not need those heavy coats, but you are going to need those sweaters out there as well, especially later on next week, because you're going to have some cooler trend coming up in just a bit. And I'll tell you that in just a few minutes. But look at this. We all had to deal with those below average temperatures, and also have some sunshine this week, returning this weekend, because we haven't seen much of the way of sunshine coming in the previous days. And of course, we do have to worry about those windy conditions as well. Speaking of winds, after those storms came through yesterday, brought all the severe weather to the down south, you've seen that Chicago had picked up 59-mile winds, 55 at Fort Wayne. Muncie and Marion was at 40, and Indianapolis was sitting at 38-mile winds. Those winds right now are not too bad, but we are still seeing some windy conditions, especially after the wind advisory that just expired about an hour ago. Yeah, we're seeing about like 10 to 15-mile winds, 10 miles an hour in Indianapolis at this hour. Temperatures right now is about 54 degrees in Muncie, and South Bend's at 50 degrees. Indianapolis is at 50 degrees. It's 56 and 56 degrees in Evansville. Quiet conditions out there on the radar. So it wasn't like that yesterday when we have all those storm reports, especially Bradford, Indiana had tornado reports, and even down south had tornado reports as well. But we do have a cold front that came through the area as well, and we have another one that's going to bring those temperatures below average as we go throughout the course of the day tomorrow. 44 degrees will be our temperature, low temperature tonight, and winds out of southwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour, gusts as high as 30 miles an hour at times. Waking up tomorrow morning, well, it's going to be pretty nice out there. Enjoy the nice temperatures because you're not going to see it for very long. We'll see 67-degree temperatures and winds out of southwest at 20 miles an hour, because as you see here, these next 6 to 10 days, we're going to be pretty much at the more on the average. So we're not going to see really high temperatures or really low temperatures. We're going to be right on that borderline. If you want to really see warmer temperatures, go out here to the plains out there in the mountains and the plains, because that's where you're going to see most of those warm temperatures, because you're not going to see it very much right here. You see that here on my 7-day forecast. Enjoy tomorrow. We have to also enjoy that wind, because temperatures are going to begin to drop off here as we go throughout the course of the week. As a matter of fact, you're going to see that we have the sunshine pretty much every single day as we go throughout the week. And also remember, 66 degrees. That's the good news. So we do warm up at the end of next week. Good news or bad news? What do y'all think?
I think it's better than nothing. Honestly, it's better than those 30 degrees. It's better than snow. So I think we're gonna have to take it.
Yeah, we'll have to settle. Well, thank you, Ryan. And we're gonna head over to Caleb and see what he has to say about sports.
Thanks, guys. Ball State track and field is back at home. Plus, Ball State men's volleyball
hauling in MIVA Awards. Which Cardinals were honored? Next in sports.
Here's your sandwich, miss.
Oh, thank you.
And your burger.
Awesome, thank you.
And your bowl of boiling water, sir.
After retiring from the NFL, I've been able to spend a lot more time coaching my daughter's basketball teams. It's something I love to do. Through our games and our tournaments, we see all types of coaching, good and bad. And it begs the question, do we really know who's coaching our kids? Do they have the proper training and screening it would take for me to be comfortable with my daughters playing for that coach? Our Youth Basketball Association made the decision to use trusted coaches to screen and train all of our coaches. I'm a trusted coach. Are you?
So if one cat has 4 kittens who reproduce every 6 months, how many cats will there be in 5 years? Who's got it? Is this... What is that? Seriously? Who threw that?
Cats are terrible at math, but they sure do multiply. Please spay, neuter, and adopt.
The solution is 10.
Indiana, I'm Caleb Zuver with sports. The Ball State Field program has had to take on a road warrior mentality this season after the first of their only 2 home meets of the year was canceled. NewsLink Indiana's Andy Newman has more as the lone home meet draws closer.
The Ball State track and field team has been on the road for their fair share of time during this season, but that sure hasn't stopped them from finding success under a first-year head coach.
It's actually been a really good year up to this point. I think one of the things that when, this is my first year here at Ball State, and, when you inherit a team, you really try to enhance on the strengths that were in the program already, and you want to continue to build upon some of the other areas there. So it's been really exciting as a team and as a staff to really kind of continue to put our stamp on it.
And after a successful campaign already this year, the Cardinals are more than excited to be back here at the Bryner Sports Complex for the first time since 2019. Ball State will be hitting the home track to take on squads from Bowling Green, Central Michigan, Davenport, Marion, and UIndy, amongst others, this Saturday. While competing in a home meet may be a rarity for the Cardinals, the squad is more than ready to finally contend at Ball State.
I'm very excited. It's been since 2019 since we had an outdoor meet here. It's just always good to have a meet on your home track. All the audience and family get to come, and it's just really fun.
Senior hurdler Carly Zumbro believes that the home meet will bring a nice change of pace and have a feel similar to that of a practice.
We've been traveling a lot, so it's kind of nice to just be at home and know that we don't have to have that traveling piece. And then I think the mentality for me is it's just like practice, and it's an opportunity to put some really good marks out there because we're out here practicing it every single day.
Coach Wheatley and the Cardinals will have a great opportunity to improve on their success so far this season right here at home.
Just being consistent, consistency is huge. I think, we try to talk about not being too high, not being too low, and just being consistent, being the best version of yourself on the day. And so again, I expect that to continue. It's a great opportunity for us to come compete at home.
The Cardinals will look to hit the track this Saturday at the Bryner Sports Complex for the first and also last time this season, with events taking place all day. In Muncie, Andy Newman, NewsLink, Indiana.
State men's volleyball hauling in MIVA awards before tournament play on Saturday. Caleb Janis taking home MIVA Player of the Year award, as well as being selected to the All-MIVA First Team. Joining him on the first team, Angelos Mandelaris and Quinn Isaacson, as well as Felix Egarevba, rounding things out for the Cardinals, Donan Cruz winning Coach of the Year. Brady Saley and Ball State's women's basketball picking up a new face today with Alex Richard, a sophomore transfer from Butler, committing to the Cardinals. In her freshman year at Butler, Richard averaged 7.4 points on 45% shooting, highlighted by her 20-point performance against Indiana, going 10 for 13 from the field. And switching things over to the gridiron, it looks like the Cardinals will get their season underway a little sooner than expected. Their season opener at Tennessee has been moved to Thursday, September 1st at 7 p.m. on SEC Network. This will be the first time that Ball State will take on the Volunteers, and the first time since 2015 facing an SEC school when they took on Texas A&M. So guys, it's kind of neat to get, some national TV recognition in the fall when football season comes up.
I'm super excited about that. I'm definitely going to be in the stands, and hopefully I'll be on the big screen and we can all be on national television.
That's right.
Yeah, that's the perk. Exactly. If we go to the games now, we can get on national television.
Yeah,
it's a great time,
There you go.
That's an incentive to go.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
and it's also it's our last show anchoring together. So I just want to say thank you guys. It's been a great year.
Thank you so much, Caleb.
One famous hippo will soon be a big sister.
And we'll have one final check of weather after the break.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem.
Just like the rules to surviving Zombieland, there are steps you can take to be prepared for an emergency.
It's the right thing to do.
Talk with your family to make a plan. Look for safe areas to meet up if separated. And stock up on supplies. It's never too early to get prepared. So start now.
Right now? Right now.
You can't predict emergencies, but you can be ready.
You're welcome, America.
Visit ready.gov today to learn more.
Jordan knows he shouldn't eat this entire bowl of nachos, but tonight he's earned that right. Because a few hours ago, in the middle of happy hour, he recognized a sign. Not from the gods or a bolt of lightning, but from a double heart, a kissy face, and a fourth ha in ha ha ha. That's when Jordan knew he was buzzed. So when it was time to go, he got a ride home instead of driving. Be a legend like Jordan. Recognize your buzzed warning signs and get a ride home. Buzz driving is drunk driving.
The Cincinnati Zoo is getting prepared for a new baby. Officials there have announced that Bibi the hippo is pregnant. This means that Fiona, the zoo's international social media star, will be an older sister. Fiona became well known globally after being born 6 weeks early in 2017, and scientists and researchers are engaged in wildlife, keeping a close watch on Bibi, and they expect the calf's arrival this summer.
And the moon will be looking a little different this Easter weekend. From early Friday to Monday morning, the moon will be pink. According to NASA, this moon will reach its peak fullness on Saturday afternoon. Many different cultures view a pink moon as the arrival of spring. It's called a Passover moon because its appearance aligns with the Jewish holiday, and coastal tribes refer to it as the fish moon because it appears the same time shadfish swim upstream to spawn. And now we will go ahead and take a final look at weather with Ryan.
Wow, that was pretty interesting about the moon there. But you know what's also interesting? We're going to have cooler temperatures for Easter. We're not going to see those warm temperatures like we did earlier this week. But tomorrow we do 67 degrees, that sounds like good news. But then we cool off into the 50s. The good news there, we do see some sunshine in the forecast as well, pretty much almost every single day. Even though we do have a slight chance of some rain on Monday, maybe even Tuesday, but I'm going to leave that on for Tuesday because we're not sure what's going to happen. But good news on Thursday with 66 degrees.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for those temperatures. And obviously it's looking up for the rest of the week, so for spring it's been a great time. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to join our sister show, Waking Up with Cardinal Weather, tomorrow morning at 8.
And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night.